Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are out there in the world. It's time for another episode of the SoundTraxx Soundbites podcast. This is Train Talk from Milepost 141. We're on episode 46.
Wow.
Season 3, episode 11. And got a lot of stuff going on. It's actually been really good. We've got, in April, I know we were having some issues getting product out the door, parts delays and stuff like that, but we got most of that out the door now.
I'll say not now. It's rolling out the door, isn't it?
It's rolling out the door, and people are real happy about it. We're getting a lot of product out there. People are excited about it, so that's always good. And as we're here recording this in the middle of May, we still got some stuff that's still out of stock. We're hoping to be fully in stock by the end of June.
Yep.
But as anybody knows, the parts procurement is always going to be an issue.
Right.
We have, we get parts from domestic and overseas sources. We use domestic warehouses and brokering houses, things like that, so we can get the parts.
Right.
But unfortunately, the global parts supply right now is just tough. It's just a moving target all the time.
Yeah, I don't envy our procurement, Adam and Boss. I mean, they're doing a heck of a job, and once we get, like George said, once we get them here, then our people, our staff, SoundTraxx staff can lay those things out, run them through the machines, and get them out to the customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's an issue of getting the parts here to make the widget. So
correct. So it's always going to be a challenge. Yep. I mean, in the electronic parts, because unfortunately, if you look at it from a broader perspective, model trains is a very small part of the electronics industry.
Right.
And we use same type of parts that people use for their now digital toasters, or there's some of our parts that are used in automobiles as well, and it's just all over the place. And so a lot of it you'll see everywhere. So it's a constant challenge, but that's one of the good things about building here in-house, is that we can control and make sure we get the right parts. A lot of times some of our warehouses will send us, well, this is the same, and just ship stuff over. And we're like, no, it's not. And we send it back.
Right.
And so that kind of leads to longer lead times, because we're not getting the right parts when we're expected to, which means then we have to shift and put something else on the machines, whatever the case is. But the good side of that is because we are able to be on top of it and catch that, whereas stuff that's built overseas, you don't always have that same luxury.
Correct. I mean, that's one of the reasons that led to the delays to our customers and our dealers for the TSU 2200s, is because the boards that were sent in initially were caught by QC, and they were rejected, and then we had to have new ones. And since, like George said, the manufacturing process, even though they were faulty, and we sent them back, we still had to wait a little bit. We had some lead time to get those parts.
Yeah, it's like 4 to 7 weeks, I think, is what the average time is. And what he's talking about is the raw circuit boards, and we actually do the assembly. We put the parts on it here, so we're not getting boards completed shipping, which is just the raw circuit boards. And these are 4 and 6 layer circuit boards that are the traces and everything, and then they're laid in epoxy. So that takes special machinery and special tooling to do.
And our quality people checked them, and then
absolutely
found the circuit boards not to be up to snuff, and they sent them back.
Yep, exactly. So that's just one of the many things that we do here to ensure quality.
Right.
And if you ever want to see it, go to youtube.com or search on the YouTube when you're done watching this video. Search SoundTraxx and Tour, and you'll get to see from several other either various influencers or YouTube personalities have come visited. But we did a short 2-minute overview video, 2.5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
That gives you just a really quick, brief look at it. But some of the other ones are like 30 or 40 minute videos where we take them through and we explain every single step. So if you want to see the amount of quality and the amount of control that we put into the products, because we do manufacture in-house right below where we're sitting right now, be sure to check those out when you're done watching this or listening to this.
It's a neat process and very informative, and let you see how we make the things we make.
Yep, absolutely. So let's go ahead and see what do you got over there. It looks like you've got something cool.
Yeah, GP15-1, Athearn Genesis.
Who could have ever known?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, if you guys know me, like Paul back at Redboard in Belleville, he knows, like, he's like, why are you buying so many things?
Was that on camera or is that off the screen?
Well, I don't know.
Here?
Let's see if we can get it over here.
Let's move it over and put it in camera here, and then we'll get the second one over here.
It's a custom painted Athearn Genesis GP15-1 standard. This is an 81-inch short hood, so this is going to be your 1976 to like 78 era. Right, 77. The last of the 81-inch noses, EMD was producing them, and this has no anti-climber. And it's basically just pretty much stock Athearn with the exception of the Gotham Rail Marine awesome spark arresters that you put the see-through screens on them. It has LEDs in it. These are the number boards are lit, or going to be lit. It has this one has step lights in it. These are Nick's Trains Nano
local lights.
Local lights is what he calls them. And go to nickstrains.com. You can see them, and they're coming in the kit, or you can buy them assembled. And that's what those are in the step wells. And then it has truck lights underneath it from the same type of kits. And then the only other thing I did put etch metal steps on it, laid them in there, and then those are designed by my friend Brian Bana, RPM modeler fame. And then Brian does a lot of this, used to do a lot of that stuff. So I had a bunch of those steps. And then the other thing is the wheels are Northwest Shortline 88 Code 88 semi-scale wheels, and then they're painted with I think it's Tester's enamel rust color. I hand painted them just to kind of knock the shine off of them and just see what they look like. And then your basic Athearn and then all the decals, the numbers, the data, the truss plates. The only thing that's microscale are the front chevrons and the rear chevrons and the GM builder plate. Everything else is William Brillinger at pdc.ca, custom decals, and then the stripe along the sill and on the ends, those are painted on by myself with the True Color white, reefer white, and then the paint is True Color blue with 1 part Pullman green, True Color Pullman green to give it that Mopac look that I always remember. And it's got that. I don't want to say it's creamy or whatever. It's not as purple. It's got more of a blue to it, and it's got that Jinx blue look. But it's coming along really well. It's a standard inside of it. It's got the standard. I'll just move that out of the way. Standard decoder buddy. This is a SoundTraxx 810154 mini cube. This is your scale sound systems GP15. You can get. JT's got a variety of these. It'll fit the early G15s. He's got them that'll fit the new ones with the number boards that light up in the back. Nice. I think this is what I just went ahead and used this one, even though it doesn't have lit number boards in the back. But
gotcha.
I didn't light them. I'm lazy. But this one's got a newer.
This coming from the person who put step lights in, but you couldn't be bothered. I wanted the rear number boards.
Well, I want to be like Mopac. Like, we don't want any dynamic brakes, but give us 8 jack pads.
There you go.
We need 8 of them, but no dynamics, none.
Exactly.
So, but then you'll have your front classification lights will be lit. These are, and I just sliced the little nubbin off. I call it whatever, the bulb with a sharp number 11 blade, not a dull one, and then drill it out with 30,000 styrene or for 30,000 fiber optic. Yep.
Oh, you put fiber optic in
well,
there?
they got it's a little. I forget where I got them. I got them from eBay. It's a little lens that a guy makes, and it's the 30,000 stem, and it just sticks in there, and then you stick you can either glue your LED to it, or what I do is I take a little bit of tubing and just put the tubing on it and then stick the LED in there.
Oh, gotcha.
And then seal it up with
that'd work.
What do you call it? Microcrystal clear. So I'll seal it up with that and then paint her all black on the inside, and then it'll project out nice and clear.
Yeah, there you go.
So she's and it's a standard. This one here's got a Tsunami 2 21-pin NEM8 on it right now, sitting on top of it. So it will run. And
did you go with EMD or EMD2?
EMD2, 12-cylinder 645E.
Yep, there you go.
Non-turbo. And it's got the standard Mopac air horn on it.
Of course.
So, it's set up pretty nice. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with them. The GP15 is my favorite engine. And Mopac, of course, is my favorite railroad. So
nobody would know.
No, I've got some other cool things coming, but like I said, I've been working on a lot of other people's stuff, and I've got those things in process, so I'm starting to get progress on it, and I'm going to try to button it up this weekend and get some more photos shot of it. So
we'll have to bring that out when it's fully assembled.
Yep.
It's nice to see the progress, though, because it shows the amount of work you're putting into it step by step,
Yeah.
and then gives you the opportunity to show it off and then kind of give people an idea. For those of you watching, you can see what actually goes inside of these things and where he's putting things, so that way it'll match up and it'll be a really nice model when you're done. Yeah,
you got your wires here. Like, we're going to use George's method. When we tube them, we're going to use shrink tubing. So when we get up in the top of the cab, the shell rather, it'll go down this thing and go right to the daughter board here. The truck lights, incidentally, they come up through the bottom here, and then they go right in here and go right to the I think I forget which one it is. It's 5 or one of them that Nick's got, where he's got a pad on the main circuit board, that also on the daughter board, so I can use the same one. I used to do it with the front and rear class lights as well, but that way they stay with the chassis, and then everything that's in the shell, the class lights, the headlight, the backup light, and the things on the chassis, on the step lights, those all go with the shell, so they'll go on the daughter board. Yeah, so that way you don't rip that out of there and just pull that out, and then freak out and start, crying your eyes out. But
right,
so
that is one of the advantages of using the Nix board, is it's got that little daughter board. Ooh, I don't like that being close to the track power.
No, I don't either. And we don't usually bring it. I should probably have a hard hat on because it's under construction, but I didn't think about that. But it's coming along. She's looking good. The blue looks good, and she's got maybe about 3 or 4 more hours of really solid work on it to get it buttoned up. At least get all the wires and stuff. That won't take me very long. It's the wipers and all that stuff that goes on that takes the time.
Yep.
And then putting her together.
Like I say, you're almost there.
Yep.
But that's looking good, so we're excited about it.
Yep.
So, but as some of you may see, and especially if you're watching on video here, I have a little box in front of me, and this is my latest project that I was going to...
See if you can guess what it is.
See if we guess what it is, but oops, it's not done. So
it looks good.
But I'll show you, camera 2. It's in there. It's in the box. So we'll do one more of these. Guess what's in there. But this thing, as of the recording, I'm hoping to put this on primer tonight.
Right.
And then paint it over the coming weekend.
I can't wait to see it with the
primer. We'll hopefully have it done here in the next couple of weeks, but I'm real excited about it. But I thought I'd tease you.
You guys wait till you see this. This is really good. the work. Oh, wow. You just don't see that kind of work these days. And the things that were put on that, I'm not going to say too much because I always run off at the mouth about it. But it's very...
Yep.
It's very nice.
Well, I'm real excited about it.
Yep.
I can't wait. And so that's why I'm hoping to be able to get primer on it tonight, and then now give it a couple of days, because we're filming this on a Thursday. So give me a couple of days for it to dry, and then I can start shooting the colors on it Saturday and Sunday.
I'd like to see it primer too. So then everything's just gonna be brought together.
Yeah,
it'll cover you won't see the work, but I did. But I mean, you'll see.
Yeah, the putty marks will be gone.
All that stuff. Yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about like the craftsmanship. Everything will just blend in. It looked like it was cast that way, like it came out of the mold that way.
Yep. So I'm excited about it. Can't wait.
Yep.
So with that, we got a couple of things. Since you have this open, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about. One of the questions that came up, I think you were talking to somebody today or yesterday, was trying to figure out what LEDs are wired to which terminal.
Right.
And that's one of the things. We've actually done a video on this where you can talk about it. But I'll go ahead and let you take the lead on this and kind of talk about what it takes to test for LEDs. And I've got the second camera over here angled a little bit differently to catch the front of that, so we can light up some lights.
Well, this is a little bit different but this is basically all you really need. This is a 9-volt battery in your basic 9-volt battery terminal that plugs into it, and then what George has got here, he's got a probably a 1,000 ohm resistor, quarter watt or whatever, and resistor's got the shrink tubing on it, and then you got your stem for that, and then you got your negative lead. And what I was telling the guy is, I can dig and find the pinout for you, but if you really, all you really got to figure out is like all of our decoders and stuff. It's really easy to figure out the wiring because it's all color coded by NMRA. So it's blues common. So once you find your common, then the rest of them, on your lighting circuits are going to be,
pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward and easy to trace. And then you'll find your common and then put your light on the common, and then use this test light to see what lights up, and then you'll know what's what.
And the one that was in question was an old Walther's engine that we had done.
Yeah.
And the wiring diagram we have only lists FX5, FX6, and so on. So it wasn't blatantly saying this is the number board light or this is the cab light or whatever it was.
Right.
And that's the problem. And that it didn't really answer the question as much as we would like. But unfortunately, because they use those same lighting outputs for a myriad of different things, depending on the model they were working on. And so what ended up happening is basically, well, here's the FX, whatever lighting outputs, the FX5, 6, and so on. But if you don't know where they're wired to, it doesn't really help. And that's what our diagram didn't show, was that this terminal goes to the number boards or this terminal goes to that, whatever the case is. And so what we're going to show you here is really quickly, and we should be able to see that on the second camera. But when you test it, we're just taking the raw wires from the LED, connecting it to the tester, and then once you make that connection, which one are you using? The number boards or?
Number boards, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So one of the number boards is illuminated. So let's move this around a little bit. So you should be able to see that.
Let's knock it over so you can't see it.
Yeah, right. But you can probe around with just a 9-volt battery, and you can even solder a wire to the terminal 9-volt battery. You can go to Harbor Freight or some of these discount warehouses and get cheap 9-volt batteries and just solder them on there. When they wear out, you throw it away and solder a new one on.
Right.
But they last forever, especially if you're testing LEDs, because LEDs don't draw hardly any current at all. I think the same battery I've got now I've had on my workbench for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, you can modify this. You can get those connectors. You can get them on Amazon or your local, if there is such a thing anymore, the electronics warehouse. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
They're both lit up, or at least the one's lit up.
Yeah, they're not, like I said, they're separate right now. They're not in parallel yet. But yeah, so you'll light them up, test them with that. Another one, what I use at home is like George is talking about. I got it from engineering.com, and it's a little tester that just snaps on the top here, and it's got the 2 little spring-loaded clips.
Yes.
And you can just clip that right on there, and it's also got spots so you can solder different resistor strings on it. If you want to go 2.2 on it, you can do that as well. But it meters it down. And anyway, I think it's $9.95 or $10, right under $10.
Yeah,
and it'll pop right on there as well if you don't want to build one of these. But these are even easier to build, and these you don't have to order and wait for them. But engineering.com does have them, and that's what I use to test mine with.
Yeah. So you got some options out there, but ultimately, when you're trying to put these wires inside your model, you want to identify kind of where the wires are. You got to know your positive and negatives.
Yep.
But if not, just probe around and find out. So if you get a model, like say for example, you want to add lights to, let's say, I know one thing I do a lot is the Athearn GE-9s.
Right.
I'll add lights to those. You guys have seen some of my modern BNSF stuff, and so the underside there has those spring-loaded pins, like a bed of nails type connector underneath the hood.
Yeah.
And there's one of them that's unused.
Right.
But I know BNSF doesn't use the alternating flashing ditch lights.
Right.
They're wired so you can.
Right.
So what I do is I probe, figure out which ones are which, take that out, move them over so that both ditch lights turn on with one lighting output.
And then use the other.
Now I got 2 extra openings.
Yeah.
And then I can just wire those up however I like.
Yeah, and it's like you're saying, and just tracing it down and stuff like that. It's not that difficult. This may look like a spaghetti bowl of wiring, but it's really not that big, and it won't be when I'm done with it. But right now, it serves its purpose for me to test them, make sure they're working.
Yep, absolutely.
And incidentally, on these number boards, to light those, these were not lit, but I just drilled them out like the ones that come like that. Now Athearn does it for you, but I also painted these white. The number boards are painted white to diffuse the light a little bit, and then put your decal over it, and it looks a lot better. And when you dial them down with our CV 61 and 62 for your brightness 1 and brightness 2 settings, you can really dial these in and get them where they won't. I don't know if they'll look as good as Athearn's, because Athearn's look really good when they light up, but they'll be close. George's look better than mine, I think, as far as the way they light up, and they don't just look like there's a light back there. There's actually just lights up the numbers.
It takes you have to make sure you center it a little bit rather than just sticking it in the box. But otherwise, I didn't do anything any different than what you did. So
yeah, it's just, and then painting it with the white. I tried that just looking online and just Googling, just seeing how people did that. And I said I'll try it. I said, light diffuser, I'll try it this time. But testing it, you saw it light up, but that's full strength. That's not when I dial it down. So,
but the point of the tester is just to find out where your wires go.
Yep.
Make sure. So one of the things I'll do when I'm doing my decoder installation, because one of the other things he hasn't done yet is running those through the unshrunk heat shrink tubing, using it as conduit. So that helps wire management inside the model. So you don't get this nest of wires. And you're like, oh my God, where do these wires go?
Right. So like on the back here, these ones that come up from the back step well, they'll go straight up the back of this shell. The shell will be glued together from the bottom. Then it'll go up, like George said, you'll have your shrink tubing right here along the top, and maybe in a little piece back there. I got plenty of room. I could put a little piece right there and then run it like a little elbow.
And you could even separate them. So you could have the step lights through one tube. You could have the rear number boards through one tube and the rear headlights through one tube. So then it's a whole lot easier when you're doing it. Or you could even go so far as to put all your function commons, the red wires, in one tube, and then the other three separated out so you know which one's which. But this will come in handy. So as you're running those wires through,
you know what you're doing.
You can make sure that they work. And every step of the way, test. There's been times where I get almost all the way done, and then I'll notice one of my class lights doesn't work. And we talked about that, I think, on the podcast. My 2138 that I had done, the left rear class light is done not working. I'd already replaced it once. So I said, well, that one just doesn't work. And so I'm going to live with it.
Well, and you'll see prototype engines out there with class lights out.
It doesn't happen very often.
And again, in the era that we're modeling, they really were just turned them on just for the sake of turning them on, because it really ran with train orders and ran with the radio.
And they were all extras anyway, so the light didn't really mean anything, but the light was still in effect. So.
So they'd change it out when they got a chance, but you know, like in my area, running down the branch line where to a coal mine, they didn't really worry about it. There was no other trains on that track. So it was just worst case scenario, they could just put it in the middle of the consist where it's not out there, and they just turn the lights off.
But be sure to check your railroad for their specs, and we did an Operations 101 video talking about display class lights, so be sure to go back and check that out on YouTube. So very well done. I'm looking forward to it.
There won't be any green lights on this one, or red. This ain't no Conrail engine now. So nothing wrong with Conrail though.
Nope, not at all. So we got two more little things to show off. First of all, we want to remind everybody we've got our hats, these cool SoundTraxx hats, and we're starting a little campaign online. Where's your hat been?
I saw that.
So if you guys have the hats, if you guys travel over the summer, take pictures where you're at with your hat, show it off the SoundTraxx pride, and we look forward to. We love to see that where you're taking the hats, and we've got them still here for sale. So if you missed out on yours, you haven't. Still got time. Get them on our website, SoundTraxx.com.
And especially now with it getting warmer and that sun beating down on you, this come in handy.
There you go. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is we're actually pretty excited about this. This is a new product that we've just started shipping as of this week. This is our Current Keeper 3. We've got a YouTube video showing off the Current Keeper 3, kind of giving you an idea of the size of this thing. But looking at it, it's a little bit smaller than my pinky nail. Probably about, 2/3 the size of my pinky nail?
It's
470 microfarads, but they're physically smaller than the traditional barrel caps that you would normally get. When you buy our TSU 1100, you'll get a barrel cap that's only rated for 220. And this is a little bit over twice that. So these are really, really handy. A nice, small, convenient package. So for you N-scalers or small HO, HON3, those guys, we have a very viable option. This will give you probably about half a second, 3/4 of a second, maybe just a little longer depending on the efficiency of the motor. But 9 times out of 10, that's all you need. Just enough to get past that little dead spot, that little hiccup. These are on the shelf now at shipping to retailers as of the recording, so be sure to check your retailer, whether it's your favorite brick and mortar store, your favorite online, or you can get them at SoundTraxx.com. MSRP $19.95 and the part number 810164. These are really nice, and they do come with the 2-pin plug, so they'll plug right into our P&P decoders, the 2200 decoders, and the 4408s and 4400s, and so forth. And then you can cut the wires and solder them, and there's 2 pieces of shrink tubing for the TSU 1100s, which are the small ones. And then you can solder the wires for things like the 21 pin or the next 18 and so forth. And if you're not sure where to solder these connections, contact us at support@SoundTraxx.com, and Tom will give you all the information and the deets.
I'll send you the pictures we got and the diagrams, whatever we got, and I can help you through it.
Absolutely.
That one there on this one would work just fine, set up in there, but it'll go to the Decoder Buddy's 2-terminal.
Correct. Yes. So the Decoder Buddy, you just cut the plug off,
Yep.
and you can stash the plug, but you can put that in and wire it directly to the Decoder Buddy. So that'll give you just a little bit of longer stay alive time. So it's really good, really handy, and sometimes, like I said, that's all you need.
Right.
So
it's I'm very excited about it too. And like I said, just like George said, our people out there with the Blue Nami 1100s. There you go. There's your little current keeper for the N scale. It's perfect.
Exactly.
And it's going to go in. I've got one. I already got one, so I'm excited. It's going in that 1200 that I got from you.
Yeah.
So it's going to go in that engine, and then maybe old 1574 here. Maybe he'll get one too.
Yeah.
So,
there you go. You might as well.
Yeah. I want to test it just to have it in there.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely. It can't hurt to have it in there.
No.
It'll just give you a little bit extra, but it won't drain. It's not like you'll pick it up and carry it for down the hall and around the corner.
Yeah,
so.
it's not going to be. I'm not going to charge it up and then pick it off the track and walk off with it still running. I mean,
Right.
it's going to get me across a switch frog or whatever I need.
Yep, exactly. So be sure to check those out, SoundTraxx.com, and at your favorite retailer. So that's everything I've got planned for this particular discussion, and I'm really hoping to get that project done enough that I can show it off.
That would be nice.
But I just don't want to show it off before it's done. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I know. I just did it because of peer pressure, because I wanted to have something, but I thought I'll take it in there like that. It's close enough that we can.
Yeah.
People looking at it can tell it's getting there, but
Yeah.
it's just it takes time to sit down and do this and then put the wires in there and get them cut just right and where you want them.
But you're almost there.
Yeah, she's looking good.
So
I'm pretty happy with it.
All right. Well, that's everything we got for this particular episode. We appreciate y'all tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you want to have further detailed conversations, technical support, anything like that, email us at support@soundtraxx.com or give us a call. We actually answer our phones all the time. So whenever we're here, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30 Mountain Time, whether it's daylight time or standard time.
Right.
Give us a call. We're here to help you. We're here to help answer questions for you. We want to be your partners, and we want to assist you in making sure that you can enjoy not just SoundTraxx products, but also the hobby.
Right.
So with that, we'll go ahead and sign off. This has been the Train Talk, Milepost 141. This is our SoundTraxx Soundbites podcast. So everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.